Hey everyone, I'd love for you to get ready with me as I get ready to go to my little brother's football game. So we are in October in Minnesota, so it's a little bit chilly here. We get some wind, we get the cold weather. It could be hot, could be cold. You just literally don't know from day to day or even hour to hour. So today's a little bit balmy, so I really over moisturized my face. I've been prepping my face all week with face masks and exfoliating masks. So I'm gonna stick with something more hydrating. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my Temp 2 primer and I'm gonna put it all over my face, really making sure that I smooth out my pores. I have super textured skin. It's just how my skin is. It always has been. And I'm even going on my eyelids, so then everything stays put on my eyelids as well. It has a little oil control, but this more so smooths out the skin. The oil control comes in with the setting powder. And I even put a little bit over my eyebrows, so then whenever I do my eyebrows, they can stay put as well. And getting around my nose. After that, I'm gonna go in with the Temp 2 foundation. So usually I don't use this, but when I'm outside all day long, I've got my baby strapped to me. So usually he's rubbing my chin. I can't help but kiss him. So then my nose, my grew nose and then my cheeks, like I rub up against him. So I want to make sure that my makeup stays put all day. So I'm using my Temp 2 silicone based foundation. And for myself, what I do is I just kind of put some dots on my skin and blend it in from there. Not really sure why I put it on crooked on my forehead, but I did, and it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, then after I put some dots on my face, I'm gonna go in with like a flat tip brush, and it's really nice and just wispy, and I'm just gonna go through and blend it out. I like more of a natural look, so if I wanted to do more of a full coverage, I would go through and I would actually spray it with my airbrush machine. So I do makeup for formal events, for weddings. I do like celebration of life, so prepping makeup for people for their funerals, or I do brides, bridesmaids, I do photo shoots like senior pictures, or I've done some like in magazine ads over the years. So typically I'm doing full face on other people, so the last thing I want to do on myself is full face, and I feel like that's just not my personality either. I am more of the less is more. I like, if I could go without makeup every single day, I would, and sometimes I do. And I'm just going through and blending everything literally all over. It does not need to be perfect. That's what concealer is for. Anywhere that I need a little extra coverage. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go through with my concealer. I like to use, it's kind of a fuller coverage concealer. It's Jane Iredale, and it has SPF built into it, so I like that about Jane Iredale, or like Bare Minerals. There's a lot more awareness brought to SPF being built into our skincare and also our makeup, because I am a big believer in our day-to-day makeup. Skincare should be included in that, like it should be built into our day-to-day makeup. So SPF, or maybe hyaluronic acid if that's what you need, or there's even some with like benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid, which would be maybe for someone with a little bit more acneic skin. But anyway, that'll be a whole nother topic. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and blend this part a little bit more. The reason why I don't love to use a beauty blender for my foundation is because sometimes it can actually pick up the foundation, because I'm not super mindful of how I use my beauty blender. If I'm doing a small area, I can make sure I'm doing more dabbing motions, versus if I'm doing my whole face, I want to get it done. So I'm like, pull, 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 swipe, swipe, swipe. And that is not how you're supposed to apply makeup. So putting it all over where I want just a little bit extra coverage. And I'm momming hard right now with an 11-week-old. So the under eye concealer is gold. Perfect. Now that we have that blended in, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my bronzer. And you guys, I don't even know how I found this, but I did. It is Physicians Formula bronzer. This is the lighter shade because I'm pale AF. So I'm just gonna go in, and I like to use, oh my gosh, you guys, I love It Cosmetics brushes. And the ones with the silver handle, they actually donate back for people going through cancer. There's a word for it, I can't remember right now, but they give, for each beauty brush bought that has the silver handle, they donate a brush to someone with cancer. So it's really cool that they give back to that. So I just go ahead, put a little bit on the brush, and I start on the outside, and then I start to blend it in, and I work my way around the edge of my face. And again, remember, this is a day-to-day look. This is nothing special. I'm going to be sitting in a stand. I'm going to be out in the cold, enduring the elements. So this is just something super subtle. Okay, this is good enough for me. It just adds a little bit of like depth that warms up my skin a little bit. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty setting powder, and I'm gonna go through and just like set under eye especially, and my eyelids get pretty oily, so anywhere where I get super oily. So getting quite a bit on their beauty blender that they supply, because not only am I a minimalist in what I do with my makeup, I'm also a minimalist in what I carry in my makeup bag. I do not want it to be bulging. I don't want it to be a huge bag. I just want it to like fit in a travel bag super nicely, so I don't feel as though I'm lost if I don't have a certain product. I'm all about multi-use. So hence why I used bronzer on my eyes, just in the crease. It just adds a little depth to my eyes. And then I have hazel eyes, and they're not even a pretty hazel eye color, you guys. I don't love it. I used to have more brown eyes, and I swear they changed over the years. Anyway, but I have hazel eyes. I'm gonna work with what I got. Okay, so I set everywhere. Now I'm just gonna go through, and I'm gonna take a fluffy brush. I'm not gonna show it to you really like for an extended amount of time because it's so dirty. And I'm just gonna go through and blend everything in. I'm not worried about my eyebrows because, well, for the sake of this video, I'm filling them in. But usually what I would do is I would just take a Q-tip and wipe my eyebrows off. Just get the Q-tip a little damp with some water and then wipe my eyebrows, because I had my eyebrows microbladed several years ago and that was the best investment I ever made in myself. So I'm really not worried about my eyebrows catching color. All right, I'm gonna drag it down to my neck, my back, just kidding. All right, so then we're gonna go through, come in with our blush. I love Milani's blush. What I love about it, and it's maybe kind of hard to see, is that it has a little bit of illuminator to it. It's super pigmented as well. I mean, blush is super in right now, which I'm loving, but still gonna tap off the excess. I start on the outside and then I'm gonna work my way in. Kind of come up a little bit. But you can kind of see already, like, look at that illumination that I have. So I don't even need highlighter, it's got the highlighter built in. Again, the less steps, the better for me. Again, tap it off and come in through here. Again, starting on the outside, and then I work my way in. And I even like to layer on a little bit of blush on the eyelids. Take a little bit, and I like to dab it on my nose so I look like, oh, Katie, you were out in the sun and you're just gorgeous and glowing. So it doesn't look like it on the rest of my body, because I'm super pale. Did not see any sun this summer with being miserably pregnant. But then it looks like, oh, you got a little sunburn on like your nose, like the sun kissed you. Yes, it kissed me. Kissed me hard, right on the nose, and I love it. Okay, so that's all I would do for my base. This is it, I'm done. So join me again for the eyes. Hello, it's me, I'm back. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start with my eyes. First thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna stick my mascara right up here. Reason being, it's warm there. I don't have enough cleavage where I could stick it in my cleavage. So what I usually do is I'll put it in my armpit. Otherwise, if I'm doing a client's makeup for wedding makeup for formal events, I'll have them hold on to the mascara, because that would be a little icky if I had everyone putting it in their armpits. So for myself, I like to put it in my armpits to warm it up, so then by the time I get to my mascara, it's nice and smooth. Then what I do is I'll put on some Aquaphor on my lips, or Vaseline, chapstick, whatever you want to do. Put on my lips to take off some of the foundation or makeup that's stuck to my lips, and then also to hydrate them. I have really dry lips naturally. They're not like, they don't crack, they just kind of like peel on the edges a little bit. So it's just nice to put that on. So then when I put on my lip oil or my lipsticks, lip glosses, then it goes on nicely. I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna take this nice shimmer. It's just a nice light neutral color. It's a Sephora brand, honestly, that's just fine. Whatever you like to use. I'm just gonna open up my eyes a little bit by putting it on the inner corner. I bring it up a little bit, and then I put it right under the brow bone. I just use my finger because, again, simplicity. Do I have eyeshadow brushes in my makeup kit? Yeah, I do. Why don't I use them, you ask? I don't know. I apparently just want to touch the least amount of things possible too. That's how much simplicity I love in my life. Okay, so again, I got my inner corner, and then right underneath the brow bone. I think I need a little bit more right here. And then I'll just take whatever is left over and just kind of blend it out on the rest of my eyelid. So that just kind of opens my eyes a little bit. You don't need too terribly much. And if you don't like shimmer, you don't have to do shimmer. I like shimmer. I'm a product of the 90s. So we like shimmer on our eyes. So I do shimmer. You could just do a lighter color, and that's fine too. Next I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and use my I don't know if it's Anastasia or Anastasia. I hear both literally in videos as well, and even on their website when people are like, I'm a brand ambassador, and I hear Anastasia and Anastasia. So I don't know what to call it, but one of my favorite Disney princesses is Anastasia. So I'm gonna go with my heart, which is with Anastasia. So I'm gonna go in with my brow fill in my brows a little bit. Like I said, I would just use a Q-tip and wet it down just a tiny bit. Wipe my makeup off of my eyebrows because I had them microbladed years ago, but I need to get them touched up, and for the sake of showing you guys how to fill in eyebrows, I'll use this. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the brush at the very end, and I'm going to brush up is the main focus, and then on the bottom, since I lined the bottom to create more fullness, I'm gonna drag it outwards, but then going back in and focusing on up. Even when I get to the edge, I'm gonna just kind of bring it up a little bit. Perfect. So you can see I didn't go too heavy on the inside. I more so lined the bottom and then really fill in and line around here because, again, I need to get my eyebrows touched up. Also, I have just like, I don't know, weird like bulges around my eyebrows. So just to kind of help smooth everything out in the application, I just go through and I line everything on the bottom. So you'll see me doing this a lot just to make sure I can smooth it out nice and evenly. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so the best piece of advice I ever received from anyone, it was my aesthetic instructor in hair school, or esthetician instructor in hair school. She reminded us constantly, your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Same with eyeliner or eyelashes. But you want, I don't know about you, but I want my eyebrows, I want my sisters to look as much like twins as humanly possible. So I just more so focus on the inside and my arch. Like, are they somewhat symmetric? And it helps that I got my eyebrows microbladed, so then I have that to follow forever and always, and I don't have to use a stencil. But I just kind of retouch the inside as needed so that it looks somewhat symmetric from one side to the other. All right, and there we are. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my mascara. I love this mascara. It's the Telescopic by L'Oreal. This is what I use when I'm on a budget, which I am just coming back from an unpaid maternity leave. So I am definitely on a budget. Sometimes I'll take the time to curl my eyelashes if I'm really feeling extra, but today I'm just not. Starting on my tips, and then I work my way on the inside. If I get like teeny tiny dots, sometimes I get them on my eyes or below, leave them, let them dry. I'll show you a trick at the very end to get it off. So again, start on the tips, work your way in. We're gonna do 2 coats on the top and 2 coats on the bottom. Okay, so now that I did the one side and you got to see up my nostrils, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then at the very end of it, that is when I will worry about taking off the little dots that I get. Okay, so now that I'm done with my mascara, I go through and honestly, I just use my brush for my brow pencil, and I'll go over wherever dots are from my mascara. I'll go over those dots and just kind of rub them off. I start light. Sometimes you do need to press a little harder, but if I just do light pressure, that's really all I seem to need. Get a tiny bit over here, and we're good to go. Okay, so by the time all that is done, I like to put on a little lip color. Lips are not something that I'm used to, so it's an adjustment for me, but I'm obsessed with the Rare Beauty lip stain, lip oil. Let's see, Hope Tinted Lip Oil, which is literally heaven on your lips. It stays put all day. So like the gloss, as you eat or as you're going about your day, that will kind of come off and it'll like moisturize and hydrate your lips. So really, I should say it won't come off, but it absorbs into your lips. But the color stays put all day long. So I'm someone where if I'm gonna put it on, if I'm putting on makeup, I'm putting it on at the beginning of the day, I'm not going to touch it up throughout the day. I refuse to, and I don't want to. So believing in investing in my products, but I love this color too because it's really close to my natural lip color. It just enhances it. And I have the bow of a 2-year-old girl, so I want to make sure that I follow that baby. I love it because I've even done it for my clients where I have lined the lip with lip liner. So I put Aquaphor on their lips on every single person, line their lips with lip liner, and then kind of smudge that out with some type of like structured makeup brush, and then I'll go over top with this. So I will be expanding my collection, not just with Hope, but also like the deeper colors for, especially this time of year, we like the fall colors, the deep reds are very in for weddings. So anyway, this is my whole look. This is what I like to do day to day. Honestly, I do even less than this when it's not in front of you guys. So join me now as I go ahead and take care of this mop. Bye.